The legend of the worst boy in the world. Chapter 4. Jelly Baby. I managed to get Dad on his own the following Wednesday. Generally, Marty would latch onto her father as soon as he walked in the door. But as luck would have it, Marty had an abscess on his tooth and was upstairs in bed. I waited until Dad had put away his carpenter's belt and was at the kitchen table with a cup of tea before nabbing him. "Dad, I need to ask you something." "Have you cleared it with Marty?" joked Dad. "Marty can't talk today. Whenever he opens his mouth, the cold air hurts his abscess." "Okay. Good. I mean bad. It's bad that poor Marty is sore, but it's good that we can talk." "So, what do you want to talk about, Will?" I climbed up on a chair. "Me and Granddad are having a sort of competition. Every Saturday, I tell him about my main problem of the week, and then he tells me one of his from ages ago." "That sounds great," said Dad. "It's good to have someone talk to, and you are the bosun. So who better than your granddad?" "That's what I thought, but what?" "But granddad's stories are so much better than mine. He has sharks and badgers and tinfoil. All I have are clippers and toilet paper." Dad nodded seriously. "Sharks are better than clippers. I can't remember one terrible thing ever happening to me. Not one." Dad scratched the stubble on his chin. "Well, there was one thing. You were only 2 at the time, so you probably don't remember it." My eyes opened wide. "Was it terrible?" "Oh, yes. And dangerous?" "Absolutely." "Tell me, Dad, and don't leave out any details. I need the dangerous, terrible truth." So Dad told me this story. It was dangerous and it was terrible, but best of all, it was true. 7 years ago, there were only 3 brothers in the Woodman house, as Bert and HB hadn't been born yet. Donnie was still a baby who spent most of his time getting his nappy changed and trying to escape from the playpen. Only Marty and I were free to roam around the house. I don't remember any of this. I'm just taking Dad's word for it. But one thing I do remember, even after 7 years, is the weekly Jelly Baby. Every Friday, Gran drove in from Duncade to visit her grandsons. When she came through the front door, Gran always sang the first line of a made-up song. "Who's the best boy in the world?" she sang, dancing a little jig. And whoever would finish the song with the words, "I am," would get a special prize, a red jumbo jelly baby, big enough to suck on for an entire afternoon. Marty had always claimed the precious prize because he was the only one able to talk. He began speaking at the age of 1.5, whereas I didn't say much until I was nearly 3. Gran had normal-sized jelly babies for the rest of us to suck on, but we were all jealous of the red jumbo. Even Donnie, who just smashed any sweets he got into his hair, then wondered why bees were following him around. Marty was very proud of his jumbo jelly baby. It was one of the things that marked him out as a leader of the pack. Every Friday, after he had the jelly baby safely in his hand, he would seek me out and play a mean little game. "What's this?" he could ask, holding up the jelly baby. "A baby," I would snivel, knowing what was coming. "And what is Will?" was always Marty's second question. "Will, baby," I would answer, knowing this was what Marty wanted to hear. "Then this must be you," Marty would conclude and viciously bite off the jelly baby's head. You can see the picture here. "Blah," I would blubber in shock. If Marty was in an especially mean mood, he would squeeze the jelly baby's body until red jelly oozed from the neck hole. "That's your guts," he would declare, at which point the 2-year-old version of me would run squealing to Mum and tell on Marty. Unfortunately, I only knew about 30 words at that point, so all I could say to Mum was, "Marty ate jelly baby," which doesn't sound that serious, does it? This went on for ages, and as long as Marty got the jumbo and the rest of us got normal-sized jelly babies, our big brother was happy. But every Friday, I longed to be the one who could finish Grand's song and claim the jumbo before Marty could tease me with it. My chance came one Friday morning when Gran arrived early. Marty was in the kitchen when the front door opened. Donnie was in the playpen and I was positioned perfectly in the front hall. Gran came in singing, "Who's the best boy in the world?" she sang. I was so excited that I couldn't say the words. "My mum," I blurted. Gran tickled my chin. "Did you say something, little Will?" I closed my eyes, took a deep breath and said clearly, "I am." "Well," said Mum, who was passing through on her way to the kitchen, "it looks like you will have to bring 2 jumbo jelly babies with you in future. We have another big boy here now." And so Gran took a tissue from her handbag and unwrapped the jelly baby inside it. It lay on her palm, red and juicy and perfect. I took it carefully as though it were the most precious jewel in a pirate's collection. The jumbo was mine. I licked it once to make sure it was real, then jammed the whole thing into my mouth in case a certain someone tried to steal it. Marty came out of the kitchen just in time to see a big, fat, red dribble roll down over my chin. For a moment, he didn't know what was going on. Then he saw Gran and the empty tissue in her hand. "My jumbo," he said, "but I'm the big boy. I was expecting fireworks." When Marty lost his temper, it could be really spectacular. But there were no fireworks that day. Marty simply turned and walked out of the room without another word. If I had known what was coming, I think I might have preferred some fireworks.